All right, good morning, everybody. At least it's morning for me. So whenever you're watching this, hello. So I'm just doing a quick overview here of the work that I've been doing the past couple days. I apologize. I am not holding up to my end of the bargain by posting very frequently. I posted about 3 videos this morning just to try to catch up, but I'll try to make this short and continue to make just short daily or every other day updates. So this is the front porch. Try to scroll slowly here so you can see it all. That was the edge. So the edge went over to right about that piece of sheet metal right there, and then came over here. And then as you can see, it comes across the front, and then it went across the side. This side had concrete blocks, or CMUs, concrete masonry units, as some people call them, to hold up the edge here, and just as a sort of a footing, I guess. And then that's why I didn't break up this edge here, because it's the same thing along the front here. And so breaking this up with the jackhammer was pretty difficult. So I thought, oh, I'll just wait, because I tried to do all this in one day. It's a little advantageous. So I was going to do it Saturday, which was the day after. I did most of this Friday, and then I thought, oh, Saturday, I'll just keep it for another day. But I was wrecked, so I thought I'll just take the weekend off, and I'll pick this back up Monday. And then I realized, you know what, I've got a lot of prep work to do before I do a second day of jackhammering. So today I'm going to be doing that prep. I'll show you what I'm going to be doing before I rent it, probably Wednesday, Tuesday, just family life. I got a lot going on Tuesday, so we'll rent it on Wednesday. Anyway, so this was pretty easy to break up here. I'll put the 2 concrete patio, I forget what they call them, deck blocks, I think is what they call them, concrete deck blocks. They're about maybe 8x8, 10x10 maybe. And then I'll put 2 4x4s underneath this beam, and then I'll strap them. Meaning I've got a metal strap that'll go from this beam onto the 4x4 and screw it all together so they're not able to move. And then those 2 4x4s sitting on top of the 2 concrete posts will hold up this side of the patio roof here, and then the same thing will happen over here. I just got to do some pickaxing and shoveling over here to get all these broken bits of concrete block over here out of the way, so I can put the 2 deck blocks here, and then I'll be able to knock out these old 4x4s here. Looks like a 6x6 because it's actually a 4x4 sandwiched in between 2 2x6s. And then those will just be sort of temporary until we go to do the roof. I say temporary, but sort of semi-permanent temporary. They'll be here for a couple of years until we redo the roof, and we pull off this whole roof here, and we're going to change the pitch from going this direction from up in the center, and we'll have a shallower slope that'll come off of the roof, and we'll come out to this same area, and we'll build a new, I don't know if it's going to be a wooden deck or full pour concrete, I'm not sure, but it'll be all the way across. So we'll have a front porch that'll stretch the full length. Now you may ask, why in the world did you spend all this time breaking up this concrete? Well, sort of 2, maybe 3 reasons. First reason, you can see this is called the rim joist. It's a 2x10, I believe, on its edge, on the side at the very end of all the floor joists. And these 2 holes were punched for something. I don't know, maybe a dryer vent at some point. I'm not really sure. And then right there, you can see there's, okay, so there's a piece of sheet metal that's in an L shape that runs all the way along the top of the block, concrete block wall that is the basement wall. But they set back the joists, so they didn't come all the way to the end, and the rim joist is not flush with the wall. They put it in a bit, and you can see there's a mark, there's an old chalk line here, and all this masonry marking, because there was like a brick facade here when the house was originally built. So I think they left that little ledge so they could stack the brick on top. So you can see there's still a small run right here. And then there's some brick still left here. I can just actually pull this off. It's all loose. So not a big deal, but I just wanted to show you all that. And and also this same rim joist has some decay, we'll say, and some insect damage right around this area. I mean termites. And so, and there was a little bit of vinyl siding and stuff left. So I needed to break up all this concrete to get to all this, to take all the brick out, to redo this metal L here to make sure, you know, no insects and dirt and bugs and all that stuff get in, moisture. And then also I needed this gone down here because it came right up here to be able to pull off the rest of this sheathing, this old blackboard, and put on the new zip sheathing, and then seal at the bottom of the zip to the new rim joist or rim board down here, which was something called liquid flash. So it's like it comes out of like a caulk gun, and then you spread it and it seals the bottom, because this when you put on the new sheathing, the thickness of that sheathing is overhanging the rim joist, and so bugs can get up there, and moisture and air and things, and so you want to seal it, and that's what that liquid flash is for. So I'll show you that later on when we get to that point. But anyway, that's the gist of that. So to make this short as can be here, this is the concrete demo that I did here. That's the reason, those two reasons, and then the third reason is the water main, old one, comes in down there and really deep. So I just need to trench about a 24-inch trench right here, because the new water main is going to come in right about here, down, I don't know, about 24 inches or so into the through the concrete basement wall, and then it'll go through a framed wall and back into our new addition, back into the what'd you call it, maintenance room, I guess, or mechanical room, where the hot water heater will be and all the electrical panels and things. So anyway, so that main water line will go right here, and then it'll go straight up the yard all the way to our water meter, which is somewhere up there. I can't remember whereabouts, but it is somewhere up there, right next to the road. So currently, I think it's CPVC. I don't know why. It seems like this portion of the country in the South is obsessed with CPVC for a long time, which feels very inferior. So anyway, we're going to replace that. We're going to put PEX in, and it's going to be great. So that is, in a nutshell, why I did all this concrete demo. And I don't know how nutshelled that was, but and then we'll go through the window here, go to the basement. I apologize, this is a little longer than expected, but I'm just trying to give you guys a good explanation of why I'm doing what I'm doing here. So this is the basement. I pre-cut with a concrete saw all this here to break this up. This is the original stack for the sewer, and so that'll be going away all the way down to probably just past this toilet flange, and we're going to be kind of angling it 45 degrees ish, maybe a little less, but over here. So the main stack will be here inside of a wall cavity, and then the shower tub combo drain will be right about here. That'll come into the main line either here or down here. I'm not sure, wherever I decide to take the main branch and wire it off. And so everything else from the house will come into that stack in the wall, come down, and then flow down here. And then the new toilet is going to sit here. So the new toilet flange for the new bathroom, if you will be here. And then there'll be a wall right here, and that's why I cut this little box out, because the double vanity, the sinks will drain in their P-traps, come together in the wall, and then go straight down and meet the sewer main right here. So it'll be, all that will be inside the wall, where previously all this stuff was like exposed. This bathroom was set up on 2x10s. That's why this toilet flange has like a stack here. You can see this little 1.5 inch was from the shower. So shower was in this corner and it drained underneath the floor in that raised floor and came over here and then dumped right where the toilet was. And then this was for the sink. And then this clean out was sitting in the bottom of the tiny vanity right here. And then they had a washer dryer right here that went into the wall and then came down and came into this stack here. And another quick thing, I actually was able to talk to a guy who does HVAC at a birthday party I went to on Saturday. So that was really cool. And he told me how to close off the HVAC lines at the condenser outside and then just hit the Schraders and it'll evacuate this line right here. So I did that yesterday. So now I'm ready to actually cut this line and move the condenser and move the heat pump and get rid of this line. So that's super awesome. I thought I was gonna have to call somebody out and pay a couple $100 to do it, but I'm super grateful to Warren is his name. So thanks, Warren. And yeah, and then we'll put a new heat pump over here because this will be a hallway. The hallway used to be over here. Now it's over, no, it's going to be here. And then the door of the bathroom is going to be here. And then the bathroom will be, pretty much where it was before. There'll be a small closet here. And then right behind this closet will be another smaller mechanical room where the new heat pump will sit. The return will be in the wall right here. So it'll suck air through a filter from the hallway, through that filter into the return duct, right into the new heat pump. And then that heat pump will come out of a supply line ducting, and then that'll come right into dropped ceiling, a soffit that runs right here. And then that'll feed lines that go into these channels here between the floor joists and up into registers in the floor. So again, that main branch of ducting will run in a soffit from that wall all the way to the other wall. And then we'll have a small soffit, right, that'll run right here all the way behind me. And so out of that main branch, they'll come underneath this beam and then we'll take a 90 up and then they'll run through this cavity to do that whole side of the house. So that's kind of how we're gonna do our new ducting for our new AC or HVAC. And again, I'm going to talk to Warren about just laying that out. He said just send him a couple pictures and he'll help me with the layout and what size ducting I need, the size unit of heat pump and condenser. And he said actually I can buy the condenser and heat pump on my own. I don't need to be an HVAC guy to do that. And then I can buy this line here and roll it all out, and then he'll come over and do the brazing for me, which is super awesome. So again, I'm able to save a lot of money on that labor, which is what we're trying to do. We're trying to do this, put as much sweat equity as we can into this place and keep things inexpensive. So yeah, so that was the update on that concrete work there. And then obviously I still have this massive pile of mortar. Still got to get to the rest of the bottom of the chimney here. I did start hammering this corner of the hearth apart to see what it was. It's actually just concrete block, just laid on top of, I think maybe concrete or maybe more concrete block. Looks like more concrete block from here out. And then the slab comes right out to about here. And it was just single bricks on top. So that's what all these bricks are. I just used my air hammer and chiseled these out. So that was a relief. There's a kind of a thick layer of, I believe mortar, maybe cement, right on top of the front here. And it comes over and sits on top of a row of bricks in front here, just a single row. And then it came right about here and then went over to the wall. So here's a portion of the top that I hammered off over here. So good news here, that is going to be a lot less work than I expected. So that's grateful for that. There are some wins here and there. All right, so this is the back slab. And Friday, I worked till about 7 p.m. and I got to, as you can see, right about here. And chiseled out a little bit of that corner just to see, you know, what it was like. That's where I started. I decided, you know, instead of doing that small bit, I'll just start with the big side. So this is pretty thick. It's 4.5 inches. But it actually was coming apart pretty easy, so I'm grateful for that. I got maybe a little more than a third done. And this is left. Obviously, that's where its slab is cracked. And that's why we're doing all this one, is because you can kind of see it's pretty rough on top. They didn't do a very good job of finishing the top to make it nice and smooth. And even, I guess they didn't necessarily need to do that, but they didn't even take a diamond plate and, you know, grind it down and make it smooth. They just left it rough, and then it wasn't reinforced. And I think a lot of water got under this part of the slab, and that's why it broke. But I've heard a saying in the concrete business, there's concrete that's cracked and there's concrete that hasn't cracked yet. So apparently this is where it decided to crack. So anyway, future, I'm going to Wednesday rent the jackhammer again, do the rest of this slab, and then today my goal is to just use my air chisel and chisel the rest of this brick. As you can see, I got most of it out yesterday, just pulling a brick and moving it to prep this area, because this is where all the jacks and jack stands will be, with the 4x4s on top to support all these 2x12s to raise them up, so that eventually I can knock these posts out and take a footer around here and then all the way over here. But this side of the deck is lag bolted into the rim joist over here, so I'm not worried about this side. It's just I'm not sure how much weight this wall is actually holding, so I want to put those jacks up today and jack stands and start bearing some of that weight, and then be able to take out these two walls here, so that when I rent the jackhammer on Wednesday, I don't have to go around this wall like I started doing. I can just plow right through, and I'll be good. So that's another preparatory thing I'll be doing today for Wednesday. And then again, I'm going to try to utilize as much time with the jackhammer as I can. So coming over here just a short bit. So this wall that I knocked down here, which we have to build up with block, where we're going to set the block, you can see it's going to be set right on a crack, and I don't want that. So we want to kind of fix this by first jackhammering all this out. So now it's a pretty big slab. It goes all the way out to there, and then I've still been shoveling off dirt. It's covered with 2, 3, 4 inches of dirt. So I don't know how far it goes to the edge. It seems like this edge ends right here. So I'm just going to make sure, you know, I don't know if it's just a crack in the concrete and then it continues, but we'll see. So I'm going to get as much of this uncovered as I can, and then move this pile of broken concrete block so that I can expose this part, and I can, again, just jackhammer as much as I can get to and my body will allow, and then just continue to clean up this. And then this is the last thing, this slab here that the AC condenser is sitting on top of. We're just going to cut the lines here and then move this thing. It's actually not, well, I can't move it because the tool's on top, but it's pretty light. But you can see the slab that it's sitting on top of is pretty garbage. It's just, it looks like they just dumped concrete and maybe screeded it with a 2x4 and then just left it. So we're gonna wipe that out, and we're gonna re-pour a nice slab. And I think this is a good spot for the condenser. It's protected by the deck here, so it's out of the elements, out of the sun, out of the rain, the dew and all that stuff. So probably keep it nice for a long time, the new one. So I think I'll just re-pour the slab here, again, you know, pretty much straight through, is where the new heat pump's going to be. So I think this is a good spot for it. The only thing is, I'm going to put in a new breaker box for it, which means I'm going to have to run some pretty thick wire from here to the new mechanical room, which is pretty far away, as opposed to the old panel was like right there. So it wasn't very far, and that wire is kind of spendy. So yeah, so we'll see how much that'll be. But it's just part of building a house. You know, you gotta spend where you have to spend. So and then also another reason is once I jackhammer this out, where the downspout is here and where the downspout is on the front, I apologize, this is the front corner, but there'll be one that's further up eventually when the new deck is built. So and then we're going to trench along the front, which I forgot to show you up top there, but we're going to trench along the front, do a French drain, and then I'll drain down through this wall into the ground as a solid pipe, not a perforated pipe. And then we're going to take this out, this old pipe, and we're going to put in new pipe, and it's going to run, you know, pretty much maybe out like 18 inches or so from the house, and it's going to roll all the way out and dump into the field there, because this is the downward slope and the creek's down there where the trees are. So I'm going to bring water, as much water away from the house as we can, and then there's a corner here with the downspout too. So we'll try to take the pipe and kind of run it over here so it can meet that one, and then just continue on down. So that's the goal. You know, water mitigation is really important here because there's a lot of water, a lot of rain. So anyway, that's again another reason why we're going to blast this and that slab so we can run a new pipe under here. I think before it just, there's a downspout real quick. There's a downspout right here that just runs onto a drain tile and then just right into the dirt. And there's an open-ended pipe right here. And then it runs, I think, under this section, and then comes out right about there. Here I can show you, I think it's showing, yeah, here it is. So there's the pipe right there. Yeah, just kind of shoddy work. So we're going to redo that and make it nice. So anyway, and then one last thing, the new slab will come out to this post here. So we'll pour that footer right out to here and right over to about here and then over. And then on this wall right here, the new mechanical room will be right in here. So that's where the hot water heater, all the valves for all the water lines, the electrical panel, and the networking panel will all be in this room. And so I've got to call the electric company and see how it works, if I have to pay for it or if they're going to do it. But we're going to put a new meter box out here, and then I'm going to see if I can do a buried line under here and out to the pole, right where my finger's at there. So currently, I'm sorry, that's the tree, not the pole. I can't see it. There we go. So that's the pole, and of course right now it's overhead. So it comes into a service head on the side of the house, and there's the meter. Sorry, there's the meter and the panels on the other side. So we're going to wipe that, and I would like to do a buried conduit and line. I don't know how, diagonally or however, but I think code has to be buried 4 feet, 48 inches, which that's pretty deep, and I can't get a backhoe under here, so probably have to be a trencher. But again, I don't know if they pay for that up to the pole or how that works, so I got to get in touch with them and see how that's going to work. So anyway, this video is way longer than expected, but that's the work that I'm going to try to do today and tomorrow to be prepared to just take the jackhammer off the truck and start going to town and get as much done as I can. All right, thanks y'all. See you later.